So we're back doing Tales from the Shed, and Alison in the shed.
Yay, social distance.
Yes.
But in the shed, which is really
shed.
good.
Yeah.
And we're still talking about, because it's been such a big event, worldwide event. So we're talking about lockdown, which is a bit, I know it's old, but there's so many interesting aspects as therapists, as teachers, that will come from this. And there's been downtimes and negatives, but it's interesting how many people have got the positives. Yeah. There are positives to be had from it. People have found loves and hobbies and people and spaces and aspects of themselves that they didn't know they had. And I'm really keen that people take those forward, that they don't think they have to park them at the gate of end of lockdown and then go back into somebody that they were. We never go backwards, we always go forwards. Yeah. So we thought we would be a little bit practical, because we talk about this from we should do this, and people go, oh, I know, we should get together, we should go for a pint, we should do this, we should cut down on eating sweets, and we never do. Yeah. So it's like, how do we, with joy and happiness, rather than with a restriction, bring the positives forward and bring it into our new life?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about it is, for me, is it kind of happened, there was kind of discussion going on with it, and then suddenly it just went like that. It was like cold turkey, overnight, and we all had to kind of work out how we were going to deal with it and what we were going to do and how we were going to decide how to cope with it. And now what's happening is the opening is like, we're just like, here's a little bit,
there's a little bit more.
So we've kind of got the opposite problem. Well, the first problem was it just happened overnight, and suddenly, maybe we weren't prepared, maybe we didn't know what we were doing, or we didn't know what we were doing. Anyway, so what happened was we didn't know what we were doing, and now we're almost got too much time to think. So we have a menu of things that we could choose, and often when you have a lot of different things that you can do, then you end up not doing anything at all.
Or you go back into your safe zone.
Yeah, so you just do what you always did.
Yeah.
So, we're thinking, is there anything way that we could have some conversation about some practical things that might help? And I know that you are quite keen on using journaling as a way of actually trying to discover what it is that we want, in that mode of it. So, maybe something about how could you use that?
I think, without being negative, I find it misused. People they love putting the 3 things I must be grateful for today, the 4 albums that changed my life, the 6. Now, if that works for you, that's fine.
Well, you can do it on Facebook anyway.
And you can start happening to do it on Facebook. But it's one of those things that bullet journaling or journaling should be about the whole of your life. It should be everything you do, every aspect of it, not just my emotions today, but your appointments, what you did do, what you didn't do, in a really positive way. And then you can look back at tasks that you'll keep carrying forward, things that have never got done, and looking at why you haven't done them. Yeah. And the most positive part of bullet journaling is the analysis of, do you know what? I haven't sorted out my bank account and it's been a year now. Maybe this isn't going to happen. Maybe I need to get a little bit of help and support and find someone that could help me do this for me, because this is always going to be a terrible negative, a terrible failure, a terrible problem, a terrible gap. Maybe I need some help with this. And then another thing that you don't always realise, that actually things I've done today that I've loved have been things I never thought I would. I've actually liked tidying my lounge or painting my hallway. I've got some interesting. So it should be about looking at and treating and valuing and forgiving yourself. So complete journaling of things you like, things you do. I think bullet journaling is really good. There's a lot of books on it, and I find, again, everybody tells you how to do it, whereas you have to find your own way.
Yeah, I found it interesting. I did a course some time ago, and one of it, that actually kind of got you to write a journal. I did it over 6 weeks, and there was 1 week where they started by saying, all right, you go to the doctor and the news is bad, and they say, you've got a year left. and write down the things that you would do. And then we go, okay, so we can, oh great, we'll do that. And then the progressive things were, well, what happened if they just say, oh sorry, it's not a year, we forgot that, it's only a month. So what happens then? Then what happens if it's a week? What happens if it's a day? And then look at the things that you wrote, which you thought that you have an infinite amount of time. Well, yes, I mean a year isn't long, but we always think we have an infinite amount of time to do any of these things. So if we had a year, this is what would be important to us. And then you notice how when you reduce that time scale, it just kind of comes down to, you know, I think at the end it was like, well, I'm going to see my husband, I want my children, you know, I'm going to go to the beach, you know, all those things that become really, really important. So it's a similar thing of what are those things that you keep meaning to, you keep meaning to, you keep meaning to, and it doesn't happen. So there could be two reasons for that. One is you don't really want to do it, and it's not necessary, and you should maybe just forget about it and leave it off your list and think, bless you and goodbye, I don't need you anymore, I don't know why I feel I have to, must, ought to. Or the other thing is, like you just said, is, you know, if it is something like sorting out your bank account, you know, doing your tax return, whatever it is, I really hate it and I can't believe it, and it's taken up so much of my mind. Every time I come to this list, it's always there. It's always taking up your time. I could pay somebody to do that.
Somebody loves doing this.
Yes.
Somebody needs the money. And I could go and work doing a job I like and give them the money to do it. And we do allow ourselves a little bit more with things like perhaps cleaners. I don't do that. Or gardeners, which I do. But people allow themselves a little bit of that. Not quite so much. But when it's something like that. So I recently had somebody that's gone through and has spent 5 weeks getting rid of 2 old Facebook accounts that I just needed to get rid of, but I couldn't. And they were so old and they couldn't get rid of them, but they stuck at it and got rid of it. And it just feels amazing to have this old online presence that just was not serving me, that was old, and it's gone. And it feels like now I can be the person I want to be. And I think we do that in life as well. It's like a job I don't want, or a hobby I don't need, or, you know, that friend or that person that always comes around when they've got a crisis and then you don't see them, when you need them, and that's sort of, you know, and it's like, what is good for me? What is adding to my life? I'm not judging that other thing, but it's just not good for me.
So yeah, I mean, I think I remember right at the beginning, so I was a single parent, and it was right at the beginning of when Tesco started to deliver, and the cost of delivery was £5.
Wow.
And I remember taking, I can't remember which child it was, it must have been Ella, taking Ella down to childminder in the morning, which was just down the road from me, and there was a comment made about, you know, saw you had Tesco delivery last night, and I went, yeah, because what that means is, it's not an hour of my time where I have to take 2 children to the supermarket and get all stressed, and then I have to pack my shopping in the car and then bring it home and all the rest of it. I said, so I paid £5. The guy arrives at my door, and at that point, they were able to bring it into your kitchen. He brought it into my kitchen, unloaded it, and I'm going, hooray!
Yes, and this is more than £5.
£5, you know, and you're like, so there's those things. So I think it is possible, an idea, maybe here's a practical suggestion, if you find it useful, is to do that, to do some journaling every day, to isolate those things. Yeah, what are the things that you really, really love, and what are the things you really could lose, or you could get somebody else to do.
And what have you learned in this time that we're going to take forward? There's no going back. Take forward, and it's self-love, taking things that you love forward.
Yeah.
And I was reading a great thing just the other day that says something about, and I can't remember it properly, I'll look it up, but it was, if you love your own life and you live your own life and create your own life, you have so much joy. You don't have to put everything else in order. You just live it and love it. It sounds a bit, it's not quite right, but it's kind of, you reward yourself, and it's the best gift you can give other people is yourself on a good day.
Yeah, and I think it is that, let's go back to one of our earlier conversations, we talked about the law of attraction. So it's almost like, so if that's what you've ordered your best life, and that's what you're living, your best life, you just have to trust that other people are doing that
2.
for themselves.
Yeah.
And they have ordered whatever life they've got, that's what they've ordered and that's what they're doing. And you don't have to take responsibility for pointing out to them that they maybe should be doing what you're doing or not doing what they're doing or something like that. You just have to trust them that they are doing what they want in the way that they've done. They've had the same thought as you, they've made that decision for whatever reason they're doing it, and maybe they don't look happy, but actually you don't have to sort them out.
I will find that, and we will start the next session with that.